Hello guys, today we are looking at the LG Cup finals. It is the first finals tournament match of 2025. It's very exciting. We have two very charismatic Go players in the finals today. They are finishing up their matches and their match, and we don't yet know the final result. Hopefully, by the time we look at the highlights of the match, we will know the result, and so stay tuned. The LG Cup finals happened today. It is between Byun Sangil from Korea and Ke Jie from China, and this one is this finals is very well noted because Ke Jie has spent many years not adding to his championships collection. He has around eight big world champions, but he had them mostly in the past around the 2017, 2018, 2016 time frame. So needless to say, he's very hungry for another championship. Byun Sangil, all the Korean players are overshadowed by the number one player in the world, Sangil, and it's very difficult for any other Korean player to have to win world championships nowadays. One, due to their Sangil just dominating, and two, when Sangil gets knocked out, usually some other Chinese top professional has a better chance. So this is a very exciting finals, and both are very charismatic, full of personality top professionals. Now, Ke Jie is one of the most famous professionals because he really likes to talk a lot, and he goes on a lot of TV shows. He talks about lots of scandalous, controversial topics as well. That does not detract away from his Go playing. He's very imaginative, very strong, and he's almost singular as a Go player in his search for efficiency, absolute efficiency. He doesn't like very thick and methodical playstyle. He likes to stretch his efficiency out, which is what makes him one of my favorite players. Byun Sangil, he is a very fighty player. He's a very all or nothing, fight kind of a player, and he is most famous for slapping himself very hard on one of the broadcasted matches against Cui Jin, the women's world number one player. That was the one time when Cui Jin went to in recent years, when one women's player went to the finals, she went to the finals stepping over Byun Sangil, the white player in this game. So that's what he's most famous for. So let's see if he's gonna do anything like that today. Okay, so here we begin the game with a very commonplace nowadays flying knife variation, and both players went for the most basic variation. Now I say most basic, the most basic variation goes up to move number 41, 42, 40, all the way up to 49, 50, and the variation ends at move 55 with both players filling up a quarter of the board. Very interesting. There are lots of ways to avoid the complicated flying knife variation. If you guys are playing as the 3-3 invader, make sure to headbutt and Hane. This you can avoid any complications. If white extends, this will be slightly bad for white. As a result, we don't have to exchange that Hane. So this will be slightly bad. Most of the time, white will accept, just block and accept the simpler variation. If you're playing as white, you can avoid this by just extending and playing other simple Josekis, or when black offers up this attachment, play just this extend or this extend back. Both of these are you can Tanuki soon after those. So game continues after the flying knife. This is now about White has a ever so slight lead, 60 points, 60% to 40% to AI, no big deal. And here Ke Jie plays this move very quickly, no doubt, and it's also the top AI move. No doubt he has spent some time studying this opening. Okay, this is a similar shape to a very common old opening before old Joseki before AI. Black has a lot of thickness here. This is considered a little bit good for White. Black's shape is a little bit inefficient. But in this setup on this board, White is also inefficient with 3 stones next to each other. And also the direction-wise, White's bottom is a little bit redundant, and Black has thickness facing the most important right-hand side. So at this point, still very, very even. And one thing to point out about the flying knife variation Joseki, the most basic Joseki here is while we do have a Seki in the inside, both Black and White is not super strong in the sense that for White there's a good Aji with this peep over here threatening to take this stone out and connect. Remember the corner is Seki, so whatever gets captured on the outside is also captures the corner. So this move, sometimes Black captures, sometimes Black connects. And there is a very similar peep for White's shape here, and the peep is right over here. The next move, it's aiming to cut Atari here and extend, and the threat is here, capturing, again, same thing. The inside is a Seki, so capturing anything on the outside also captures the inside. So make sure when your opponents play these very nice peeps, give them a thumbs up, a nod, because they know their stuff. Okay, let us continue. So here, this far approach is very nice. It was highly recommended. This entices Black to defend the corner. If that happens, White has a very comfortable 3 space distance away from the lower right thickness by Black, so this is very comfortable for White. So in the game, Ke Jie plays the pincer, and White goes into the corner. Now this headbutting move is a very strong move by Black. If Black plays the 3-3, that is also very reasonable. But in this case, Black plays the headbutting move. And this invites White into the corner. And White does go into the corner. Here, there is another train of thought which goes something like get some exchanges on the outside before going into the corner like this. Okay, so White goes into the corner directly, and Ke Jie counterattacks, cuts off the outside. It's a very interesting shape that follows up. So here White goes and tries to live in the corner and succeeds. Black also has a very nice jump point here. Note how Black plays this kind of a jump instead of moves like this one, which noticeably it's less pretty, less efficient looking. So this move is very well normal, normal, good, well played. And the next move White plays here, and Black now has an opportunity to press. And this is Black with a slight lead, a slightly better game. So, and the next move will show the quintessential trademark Ke Jie's playstyle. This guy really likes to go for a lot of efficiency. So instead of being satisfied with just pressing out, he goes for more. He goes for this move, thinking to get White to answer and then press. This way Black exchanges more stones, and has more influence towards the outside. Okay, so another way for white to fight back, something like this: you go in, white cuts you off from the back, but something like this will also be easily answered by just Hane on the outside, Atari, similar sorts of moves as before. Maybe connect here. This is noticeably developing the right hand side and the upper side. So white really has a tough time defending any territories that white is making here on the lower side, which makes white want to counterattack, want to turn here, and it just so happens that this turn is a very, very big move, and it's a very big move, and as a result, white does play it. So black sort of forces white to play a very good move, sort of like he bullied his opponent a little too much, and his opponent had nothing nothing to do but to fight back, and sort of forced his opponent to play the strongest moves. Okay, so this is the follow-up move to this move, and we can see here black knight's move, attacking the, wrapping around the white stone. This is a very, very strong shape. It's very good. However, here I'm a little bit worried about this shape for black, because one, it is very close to the white, to many white stones on the bottom. If white becomes very, very thick on the bottom, or if white is very thick on the bottom, this would be cutting off white from white's thickness. That is not recommended. If you get cut with your opponent's thickness, it's very dangerous, and you don't surround any territory when you're close to your opponent's thickness. So this is what I'm worried about here for black. So white jumps here, white runs into the middle, and here black is going to address all of my concerns that you guys are going to see now. So here black goes for this peep. We talked about it a little bit, and here white protects the peep. Now Atari and extend white can now capture these two stones, no problem. So this move, this pillar move, does protect against the weaknesses there. And the next move black plays here, this is threatening to double Hane, play a ko, some kind of strong moves here, and here the white answers. So we see how black made very good ingenious use of these two sente peeps near a place where white is very, very strong. And in order to make black very strong at the same time, now black is totally connected. There are no more cuts in the middle around here. So this is very advanced concept. So our concerns were realized. White is now very strong on the bottom. Black runs a big risk of playing too many moves around white's thickness, but at the same time black was able to find some sentes and make the black connection very, very strong as well. So it's this game is really, really sharp and really tight right now. Concerns are being addressed, and fights are happening, and everything is very interesting. Here the AI wants black to play this move. Now remember this kind of shape, guys. Whenever you can play a knight's move without fear of being cut, it's usually quite a good shape. And the game Ke Jie played here, and this one really shows his style. Style again. Here the AI wants him to play a less aggressive, a more conservative move, but no, Ke Jie wants even more, one line further. And here, this is where this one line further is going to spur this game into a lot of fireworks right now. Very, very interesting. So white takes out these stones with this little bit of a weakness. White is now taking out these stones and going on the counterattack. So before this, black threw some very good Sente Peeps built up a slight lead, 75%, 345 points. And so here, black played slightly inaccurate, so it's a bit closer now. Black still has a lead. Look at this here. AI wants black to extend everyone. We can all understand. It's making a lot of territory on the right hand side. It's also keeping white weak. Here is where Ke Jie went for it. Ke Jie went for the cut. And this is where this is gonna spark all the fireworks at the moment. So here, needless, this Atari is a very happy move. Black is not doing anything with the connect. White is doing something positive with an Atari on the outside. Okay, and so here, white Ataris, and moves out. At first, this seems very, very forced by white, seems very, very a little bit forced. But if you look at it a little bit more closely, white has more territory on the board. White has, in fact, 15 here, 20, 30, 40 points easily on the board. Black has 5, 15, 25, 30, something like only 30 points. So white has a big territory lead. White has 2 weak groups. That's white's main concern. But now white is able to find a counterattack against either the middle group and the upper side group. So it's 2 weak groups on 2 weak groups theoretically, and so theoretically this can be fought to a standstill, and then white might triumph with his more territory. So this is very, very interesting. This game right now is totally 50-50, 50-50. Okay, and note what the AI wants to do here. This is very good practice. AI wants Ke Jie to play this 2-space extension. This, note this is what we talk about a lot. This is strengthening the weakest attacking stones, the upper side. And this one is also staying far away enough to white where if white just pushes out, for example, white is not able to threaten both the top and the middle simultaneously. So this kind of a move, very, very good. If you're able to pull off this kind of sustainable development, this is you're gonna do quite well. Okay, if black goes for something very close, for example, like some kind of a squeeze, a net, this way white is able to threaten the middle and also threaten the upper side at the same time. So really appreciate how that move is there. In the game, Ke Jie goes for the middle. This is also very, very big, also very, very important. This is also strengthening the 4 stones in the middle, which is also very, very weak. And so white goes on the top now. Note here, AI wants Ke Jie to play here. Also along the same lines, make yourself as strong as possible. And it's very, very, very defensive, totally defensive. Offense is defense, defense is offense in this case. But you and I, we all see this one weakness inside white's shape. And the weakness is very, very clear. And as a Go player of a strong caliber, it's very, very difficult not to go for what Ke Jie went for in this game. Ke Jie played here, and the next sequence is all forced, and we can see here how white is going to be rolled up into a ball. It's very, very tempting to roll your opponent up into a ball, and it's very hard for any Go player to resist. However, after this, because we'll see the next move, because black is forced to extend, white now has a relatively easy time. White can Atari here. White can try to play this ko, that kind of thing. So white is now having somewhat of a lead, 70-something%, 3.5 points. Note here, this is a very, and the next sequence of plays is gonna really gave me the chills. and may give you guys the chills. So a bit of an aside, LG is a sponsor for this tournament. LG, you've seen their appliances, their refrigerators, heating systems, their TVs, and in this Go tournament, apparently the LG heating systems didn't work all that well. So in the middle of the game, both players were very, very chilly, and the LG staff gave them pink LG blankets, so they both wrapped themselves up. You could see this in the photo in the back. Anyways, the next sequence is really gonna give us the chills. So first, Black does not want to play this Atari, because after Black plays this Atari, later on, if White plays this move, forces Black to connect, and then this kind of a throw-in makes Black have no liberties on the upper side, and no liberties does matter. What Black wants to have happen is when White plays here, Black connects, fights this Ko back against White, and then connect here. This way there is one extra liberty on the inside, and this liberty is gonna allow Black to live and capture White's corner. So Black doesn't want to, and if White plays this push, it's the same thing. So this is why it's important for Black not to make that Atari. But not making the Atari exposes this Ko possibility for White. And here it's very interesting. When White presses here, it's very tempting for Black to play the Ko, find this Ko threat, and then fight this as a Ko here. But it's very important for the players to do the following here. When White pushes, first play this Atari, because if White captures, this is a much better result than the other one. Black can still try to make the top alive. Black hasn't made this Atari and this capture exchange. So when White goes for that Atari, Black should Atari here immediately. If White answers, then we fight this Ko, even though Black loses much more on the top. By capturing these two stones, it's much better, much bigger for Black. Black can capture 3 more stones here. And there's no more Aji in the corner, because White only has two liberties on the inside. So it's very important for the sequence to be almost exact. And here you'll see why White plays this move. Next, White goes for the Ko. Black plays, as we expected, this Ko threat first to set up a bigger Ko threat. This forces White to end the Ko, and now this Black is now able to capture. And so now we see why White played this Atari, because after Black captured, this extend becomes not an Atari. Now White can still make this peep, which is very valuable, right? So with that first Atari, White is now secured himself a very nice peeping Aji for later. So this is so this whole sequence gave me the chills, and this was all very done, like super nuanced, like super nice. This was very, very nicely done by both players. So overall here, a huge exchange. Black captures this left, White captures the top. Still some Ko-Aji, but White does have the very important Sente coming up next. White has a 75% chance, 3.5 point lead in this game. So and White plays, and throughout this sequence, everything was spot on, perfect, #1 move. Next move, this move, also the #1 move. Here I was thinking, what if White plays here, Black would play this one, and White has some very fun Sentes to the right hand side, taking out a lot of territory and living inside Black's territory. But this allows Black to save the middle stones and connect those stones home. Later on, connecting here captures 4 stones. Playing here would secure some life for the upper side. So it's very important for white to play this attach, and likewise it's very important for black to play this move to get a lot of territory. All these moves were perfect #1 AI moves, super chills. It's been like 15 moves already, and it continues. Atari, jump, Hane, super good, super AI moves. This entire 20 move plus sequence perfectly played with the game balanced out on a knife's edge. Very nice. Okay, so connect, and here white's move to continue having a 3 to 4 point lead is to play this move, Atari and jump. This will continue the attack against the middle black stones. This will also save white from having to connect home here, because white can move out on the left. This fight like this has a very strong feeling of white. Think of this as an arm wrestling match, and white is clearly sort of turning the wrist over to the opponents. And if you guys are well versed in arm wrestling, you guys know that turning the wrist over the opponent and pulling the arm closer to you, pulling the wrists closer to your arm is all, is super good technique. Same thing in Go, very good technique. So here white would have been able to turn that wrist over. In the game, here is the one bad move by white, but it's very understandable. So white plays here, black plays here, and now we can clearly see black turning the wrist over against white a little bit. And so this eventually forces white to connect home here in Gote, and black has now saved his middle group in Sente. This now has black reversing the game. Now black is now up by around 3.5 points. Very well played. Now, one reason why white decided to play this way was, remember white got this peep, right? So now white still has this peep, but if white played the way that we showed, white would not have that peep anymore. So in this kind of perverse sort of coming back in circles kind of a thing, white's like super nuanced, like slightly good move to get one slight bit of Aji over the opponent is now like may have contributed to white's bad decision later on in the game for like 5-6 points. Which is very interesting. Again, this whole sequence gives me all the chills, just like how the players were chilly in their game. Okay, so black has a slight lead at this point, but it's very uncertain. The top, there's Ko-ish Aji on the top there, Ko-ish Aji in the corner, and so for now, there's also some Aji here. So for now, the biggest move is for black to capture these stones, because if black allows white to save the stones, black also has to live. That would be like Sente for 20 points. That would be super strong. Okay, and look at the next move. Ke Jie plays this move. This is saying that we can still cut white from the back like this. Super ugly shape. Empty triangle, but if this works, this would give black 1 extra point here. If black just plays the attach, you can see here how black is getting 1 less point, maybe a little bit more than 1 point, but here black is really sacrificing, letting very bad Aji develop and just getting this 1 point. Here again, this move would fix all the problems, but no, he plays here to get 1 more point. But once you played 1 more point for 1 more point before, of course you're gonna go for 1 more point later. So this all makes perfect sense, of course. And here, white behind by about 3.5. AI wants white to play here, makes the biggest territory possible, fights a coast, fight on with a coast. Next, white plays here. This is a little bit defensive. It's a little bit conservative. And here, after a turn, black plays this. And now white plays a very crucial soft move. There is a ko here. First, let's see if white can cut black on the outside. Because of this 4-5 exchange as sente, white is not able to cut black like this. White is also not able to cut black like this. Remember, 4 is sente. So play this move first and then block. There's no cuts. So here Ke Jie has played a very, looks like a very forward move, but it's totally safe. And so here white fixes the ko. Another move is here. The ko is here. Black plays this move. White plays here to take away the Ataris. White has, if black wins the ko over and over, black will capture here. This forces white to spend another move to defend here, and now black blocks and finds a ko here. So there's some ko aji over here on the top. It's just a direct ko. Okay, so white ends a ko, black jumps in. Now black has a sizable lead, like 5.5 points, because of two, slightly relaxed, lax white moves. However, these two white moves made white super thick. And so here white has one more chance to try to find something on the middle here. And you and I, AI, all recommends black play in this connect. And that makes perfect sense. The key here in this kind of fight is to not go for the cut against white, but to force white to connect, and this way you can also, as black, take care of both of your sides. Okay, you and I, AI, we all do this, but Ke Jie goes for more, and this is, of course, the quintessential Ke Jie style. Of course, he goes for more, and in this case, it is valid. It is actually even more. It was 5.5. Now after this move, it's like 7.5. So this was totally valid, and black is looking to live on the top, something like this. And if white plays the hane, something like this hane as well, plays these moves, make some ice space and live on the top. This, of course, destroys more white territory, and that would be like totally destroys the balance of territory. So as a result, white fights back, plays these moves, and plays the Atari. And here Ke Jie really goes for the jugular here. He goes for this move. If white extends down, cut, Atari, and then Atari here, black has a very nice connection, and black is gonna Tanuki this move now, force white to go for this and then win the ko. This is gonna be and even if white wins the ko later, this is gonna be no big deal against black. So another move, white connects here. This is gonna be the same. Black is gonna connect here. In this case, if white goes for the cut, black will just simply live like this. Otherwise, Atari, this is going to be easy life. So white goes for the most complicated thing he can find, which is this move. This move will now set up for a very big, wide ko here. Yes, white is really in trouble, but if white can hold on to everything, that could still work. First of all, you and I connect. This would run into black playing this Atari and this Atari, and now because black has already connected all the black stones, any sort of coast threats white can find is not likely gonna damage black enough in order to make up for all the damages on the upper side. So so needless to say, black is doing very well at the moment. Here, white sticks in here, and if black just captures this, black has a good win. White will be able to save many stones, but black just has to connect this group home in order to have this win. Ke Jie, of course, when you go in, Ke Jie goes to cut white from the back, and he cuts white from the back. He's like, why? You're giving me 5 more points? Why? Of course, I'll take 5 more points. Sure. So he's taking 5 more points, as we saw here. And this is So this is where we sort of began the game with White in a lot of trouble, and I think a lot of drama has happened since, because Ke Jie tried to win by a lot. He's not satisfied with 5-10 points. He really wanted, to win by 15 or something. So he keeps fighting this Ko. Atari, he connects, captures back. Ko threat captures back, and when this happens, White now all of a sudden found himself a lot of Ko threats. When White Atari'd the 2 stones in the middle, it was a great opportunity for Black to end the Ko, let White capture, and just go home. I cannot believe this was not chosen. No, Ke Jie said he has a lot of Ko threats, so he goes, and so this Ko continues. White also found lots and lots of Ko threats, and now the game is very, very totally unclear, and very, very unclear now. Okay, White plays the Ko threat here. Good. So Black answered. White takes it back. And now Black has to find some other Ko threat. And the Ko threat Black went for was the bottom cut. Now that is a Ko threat that is very, very strong, but is it big enough? White resolves the Ko. Yes, White resolves the Ko, and now it's within 1 point. So very, very big drama, and very, very nice, very, very big drama. Ke Jie takes the Ko, this is the threat, and White takes the entire top. Ke Jie captures a few stones. Oh, wow, this was what a mess. So however perfectly both players played in the middle of the game, now with all these complicated Kos, all kinds of different moves happen. By the way, AI wanted Black to play here right now. In fact, AI wanted Black to play here right now because it's very big. When Black gets an Atari here, it is already quite good. It's a good opportunity for Black to play this attach. Ever so slight of a lead when Black plays this capture. White now has a slight lead of White now has a slight lead. Crazy. Very good Ko shenanigans. Black captured about 20 points. White is now going to capture another, these stones in the middle for, another 20 points. If White surrounds a few more points, that's, that 5, 6, 7 point of lead that Black had earlier. Crazy game, lots and lots of drama at the end as we spoke. Every move was close. Every move was, yeah. Okay, so Black Hanes here and White plays here. AI wanted White to play here and fight this kind of a Ko, so some kind of a Ko. Here White played this move. This move may have been a little bit of too defensive, and here now just this one move allowed Black to get ahead by a few points again, and they're counting now. Let's take a small moment of break and see the final count. They're just doing the final count. At the end of everything, Black won, Ke Jie won by 2.5 points. So 9 points on the board by a very slim 2.5 points at the end. The final board looks like this. Just a few more moves from our thing. Right here we were talking about here the AI move is to Atari, and White actually has a 61% chance. Probably, it's a half-point game, very, very close. The AI variation is here, capture this move. Wow. Very Ko-ish, Aji. 9-10. Here white now plays this move. Looks like oh boy, looks like white is gonna win this one by half a point. Very close. If this happens. So white needed to do that, but white played here, and this immediately allowed black to play the following synthase. The difference is later on there's a point here for black, and in the white group here, we'll see what happened later. White is later gonna end up with 5 points on the bottom. So 5 points for white. In the AI graph, white would have had 4 points, but black would have 1 less point as well, and white would have oh wow. And anyways, okay. But white definitely lost 1 to 2 points here. Wow. So this game really is giving me the chills. Lots and lots of mistakes, lots and lots of super strong plays as well. Here, the end game is had, and black played this perfectly as well. If black just connects as you and I would have done, this would have been black is totally lost, half a point or 1 point. And so here, black needed to play this double honey to fight this as a ko, and with enough ko threats. Remember how on the bottom in the other diagram, black had no more ko threats against the white group, whereas white had some very nice ko threats here. Wow. Ko threats here. Whereas white has ko threats with the cuts, and like all these moves are ko threats, and now black doesn't, maybe has 1 ko threat only. So the way white played here, now black has, there's no ko threat for white now. Capturing 2 stones is not one, and there's the throw in and some more ko threats for black. And so in the end of all of this, push in, Atari, and throw in. In the end of all of this, black now forced white to move back here. Now white could have Atari'd, and then, but probably white would have had to connect here at the end. Anyways, so in the game, white had to play this one, and this is how black is able to squeeze out the final half, the final 2 points over here on the left hand side. In fact, black doesn't even connect this ko, takes the last 1 point here, and he wins by having more ko threats. He must have more ko threats, and so in the end, black gets white to lose 2 points here, and black takes the last points in the middle. So the in and out is 3 points. So this is how on the bottom here, because of the differences of ko threats, this allowed black to take all like 3 points on the left hand side, 1 point in the middle, and 2 points, forcing white to play this stone and this stone. So this was a super exciting finish, and super exciting finish. Ke Jie ekes it out in the end by 2.5 points, and he needed every last 2.5 points that he had, because he got, he really eked out all 3 points. Remember here, first he forced white to play back here, and then later on the first line, and then later he gets the middle 1 point, and later he wins back this ko for, he needed every single half a point. Super exciting game, super big chills. This game went very, this was the most exciting finals of any finals we have seen so far. 284 moves, And black had an easy victory, but the coast made it very complicated. Probably this point and the later point here was very good opportunities for black to end the ko and just put a band-aid on the situation over here on the left and just take an easy victory. Would have been way ahead, but instead he wanted to win by as much as he can, and white also found lots and lots of ko threats, and at the end here white is actually ever so slightly ahead by half a point only, and it came down to white having to play this Atari, which may actually lose 1 point. It's probably totally even, and gain all the ko threats in order to prevent black from doing this double Hane ko for the end game. If you and I played, we would have played here, and we would have lost by half a point as black. Right. So white could have taken out all the ko threats, and black wouldn't be able to win this ko. But in the game, black was able to play this ko. Basically, the game ended like this. Black got white 2 more points here, and black ended, with the last point in the middle. And when white Atari'd, he played this move, and at the end won this ko. Wow, 3 points. Super great end game. Super big chills. The broadcast has ended. I really, really enjoyed watching this game, and great. At the end here, the broadcast ended, so so you guys had to see a lot of the background YouTube stuff at the end, but oh well, all good. No worries. Oh, this game was so exciting. Just super quick recap. Oh, man, very quick recap. Very good common large complex Joseki, totally even, and here white goes into the corner, slightly good for advantageous for black, but Ke Jie went for a little bit too much bullying, and forced white Byun to fight back. And here is where the sparks started flying. Ke Jie was very crafty, getting 2 sente moves, strengthening the black connection in the middle. But a slightly inaccurate move here allowed white to get a small opening on the top side black group, and here Ke Jie went for the cut, went for the jugular. The fireworks blazed, and after this, white was able to get the Atari and use that ever so slight opening to run out. And here, Ke Jie played, the Byun Sangil made an offer to Ke Jie that he couldn't refuse, even though the AI wanted him to refuse it. The offer was to roll white up into a ball, and Ke Jie, I wouldn't have been able to refuse this offer. This was an offer he couldn't resist. And so this whole sequence, from this point on, this move on, this whole sequence, every move was top move by the AI choice. In fact, this extend was an ingenious move. Got white to like 76% instead of 74%, slightly more agi. Every move was spot on, every move was perfect. This Atari, this jump, Hane connect, super big chills, guys. And here, white had a small advantage, but a slightly defensive play here allowed Ke Jie to turn the wrist over in this arm wrestling contest. And as a result, Ke Jie was able to go back and capture a big center. He did go for all the territory. From the way the coast went later, I'm sure he would have regretted this, and if he had another chance, he would have played the less RG intensive move, like such as this one, because all the co-threats really mattered in this game. Here, Byun also went a little bit too defensive. It's very hard to judge the situation, and here Ke Jie did race out to a very comfortable 6.5-7 point lead. And so here, this was White's last chance to try to attack in the middle. Black could have answered, but no, Ke Jie went for the biggest, the most aggressive, the most vicious move possible, takes out all the white territories. However, this also made the position a little bit chaotic, and a very, very large ko resulted. Black should have just never fought the ko, just played this, would have had a very comfortable lead as well. These middle ko threats were not big enough. So here now, when White captures the 2 stones, even though 2 stones is much better than the other ko threats that White would have had, the fact that White committed to this ko is also makes the top much better for Black than otherwise would have. So Black was totally fine here. However, Ke Jie wanted to win by 10 points, 15 points, and so this very, very complex ko resulted, and White ingeniously finds a very good ko thread here. The next move is to press and then to squeeze the middle 4 black stones. So this ko continued, and here Ke Jie makes a slight mistake. This ko threat is slightly too small. AI wanted Ke Jie to play these losing ko threats first. So his slight advantage is now a slight, ever so slight disadvantage now. However, White makes a slight mistake with the Atari. This gives Black a chance to, right now the game is on a knife's edge. When Ke Jie captured, it is actually White with a slight half of point of advantage here. And it was, and here, of course, Razor's Edge, White needed to play this Atari. It would have been about the same territory, 4 points for White and 1 less points for Black versus 5 points for White. Would have been about the same, except White would have had no ko threats against for Black, and White would have had some ko threats for White. However, in the game, Black had the ko threats, and that allowed Black to play this double hane. He gained 3 points in the end game here versus a non-double hane move. And that's how he won by 2.5 points in the end. Woo! Woo, guys, the last synopsis was even like very, very exciting, huh? Wow. Okay, guys, this was game 1. I can only imagine how game 2 will be. Take care. I will see you guys with game 2. This is gonna go onto my YouTube. Leave a note, leave a subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.